So here we have the all-new Sandero Stepway. We're going to show you around the vehicle, talk about some of the controls and some of the differences from the old specs. You will notice the vehicle has had a remarkable improvement in its overall design and quality. It is still a Stepway as it was known, but this new one is built on the same platform, the CMBF platform the Renault Clio is built on. So you're getting a really strong chassis and great handling and control on a vehicle that doesn't cost anywhere near the same amount of money that the Renault Clio does. We've got a great engine lineup with the new Stepway, and that is inclusive of biofuel options. And the main kind of engine that I would recommend would be the TT90. You get a 6-speed gearbox with that, so it's got plenty of power for the size of the vehicle. With the 6-speed gearbox, the torque ratio is really nice, so you don't feel like you're lacking in power. As you can see, they've had a really nice redesign to the front lights with this kind of arrow design coming down. And then you've got your fog lights down the bottom here. This one, as you can see, has got front parking sensors, which are these black dots. They've had this kind of angled bonnet, which helps with the design, but also the streamline of the vehicle is really good. Clear Dacia badge. They have put this Stepway badge on the front, which isn't for everyone, but it is a marked improvement on the Stepway stickers that were on the previous model on the sides. You've got diamond cut alloy wheels. Another feature of the new Stepway is these roof bars. They are a modular design, which I'll discuss a little bit more in detail later, but you are able to pop off the top here, unbolt them, and then you can have them going across the vehicle, which allows for like a roof box, that kind of thing. That means you don't have to, one, invest in a set of roof bars, but two, they're always attached to the vehicle. And when you don't need to have a roof box or anything like that, you can put them like this, and it kind of helps with drag overall, which is quite a real, yeah. I mean, I cannot express how useful that is if you're someone that needs a roof box, and the help on the fuel economy there. Rear lights, as you can see, they've carried on the arrow design within those rear lights. And again, rear parking sensors indicated by the little black dots there. So now we're going to go through some of the controls within inside the vehicle and show you around the seating, etc. like that. One thing should be noted, this one has a spare wheel, and you can see the jack is stored to the side. And you've got this boot floor. If we lift that up, you can see the spare wheel. The one thing I'll say is, in a lot of vehicles, you will have a cover here and you can use this drop down space. With the Stepway in its current form, that is not the case. So that is one little flaw that I would point out. But considering you have the false floor, your boot size is still a good size, as I've just shown. Then if I look inside this one, this is a biofuel option, which is a really nice option that you can have with the Dacia range. But as you'll see, the spare wheel is replaced by a biofuel tank. And again, no covering on this. So you'll see a bit of a trend here. Your boot really is this level. I mean, you can store certain things under here. If you had stuff like spare oil, that kind of thing could be stored underneath. But I probably wouldn't want to store my shopping, that kind of stuff in there. To give you some indication as to boot capacity, as you can see here, we have a buggy inside, 2 bags of shopping, and you've got a fair amount of space left. So if we move these around, as you can see, we've got a fair amount of space in the boot here for the Sandero. The biofuel option comes with this little bag and this adapter. So what this is used for is at a gas station, petrol station, you can use this in the connection. So you would unscrew this. As you can see, you've got your normal petrol there. You'd unscrew this, screw in your adapter, and then you'd be able to use the LPG. All new Stepway's roof bars are a modular design, so you are issued with this tool, which on one end is essentially an Allen key, and then you've got a star screw on the other end. And this allows you to unbolt the roof bars and to turn them side on, so you're able to fit a roof box. So this allows you to have functional roof bars when needed and not creating drag when not. So you're able to turn them at will. Into the rear seats, as you can see, a nice orange stitch design across the seating. So you've got Isofix here, and it's just hidden behind these. These are stitched up, so if you haven't got children, they're stitched up. But if you do wish to, you can just break them open really easily. And that's Isofix on the two outer seats. Not in the middle. It is a 3-seat across the back, but you've only got Isofix in the two outer. You also have a power outlet in the rear here. It's a 12-volt traditional power, kind of the old cigarette style lighter. Power sockets, so you can put adapters in there to give kind of USB charging, etc. to the rear. So this is a Prestige model, so you've got electric rear windows. You've got a fair sized pocket, obviously not really big enough for a big drinks bottle or anything like that. But for the rear, that's kind of a general case with a lot of vehicles. Coming into the driver's side, you've got a height adjustable driver's seat, which is just used by pumping or pumping down. And then you've got the rear here, which does the rear of the seat. This is a bit of an improvement from the previous Sandero and Stepway range. There used to be a lever similar to this one here that you'd pull up and it was spring loaded, a little bit of a James Bond style kind of ejector seat. So this is a very, very strong improvement. As we come in, you'll notice a lot of, if you've ever looked at the Renault range, you will see a lot of similar features in terms of the layout and controls of the buttons. The overall feel from this vehicle has improved. We've got a nice solid leather steering wheel. The buttons aren't too clunky in the way they're used. They're pretty intuitive. All of the cruise control has moved up onto the steering wheel, which is a really nice feature. The old ones, you had a button down the side you had to press and then move over to the steering wheel. It was just a little bit clunky to use. We have a nice clear digital dash in the center, which you can scroll through and give you your MPG, fuel, etc. all of that on there, which is a nicer updated system. Again, this will be the trend of what I'm talking about, is Dacia have gone to great lengths to make this vehicle considerably better in terms of equipment level without jumping that cost. And they've really kept to their ethos of an affordable vehicle to everyone. So clear dials here for speed and rev, and then you can see fuel along the bottom. And at the moment I've got one door open and you can see 3 dots in the rear indicating there's no one sitting in the rear. If someone was sitting in the rear, one of them would highlight, especially if they hadn't got the seatbelt on. So we're going to talk about the parking assistance on the Sandero and Sandero Stepway. So you'll see we've got the rear parking camera on this vehicle, and then an indication of the vehicle to the left with a green line at the moment. So if I tilt the steering wheel, you'll see this blue line moves. So that's the indication of the direction the car is going and will end up with the current movement. If I was to put the steering wheel perfectly straight, you'll see it disappear. And you've got these lines here. These are the extremities of your vehicle, so either side. Green line is you're clear. Yellow is pretty much think about stopping. Red is stop or you're about to hit something. If I was to go back slightly, you will see the green lights on this side start to light up more. I've now got something either side of me. They go yellow and then they go red, indicating there is something right behind me. Now we're driving forward, you'll hear the beeping and then the same icons lighting up. And it, as you can hear, it really increases in volume as you're driving forward. So really visual and then audio, just to let you know there's something there. So electronic parking brake in Sandero Stepway. This will also work with Sandero if it has a parking brake. So basically, as soon as you put it into gear, you'll see I go engines on, pull the trigger, down into drive, the handbrake disengages. I'm able to accelerate away. If I then put it into park, handbrake comes on automatically. Don't need to use it. If you are, say, on a hill and you want to, if you apply the foot brake, it will hold you there for 3 seconds, preventing you from rolling back, which is hill start assist. However, if you're on a hill for a long period of time, you have two options. You either put it into park like so, or while you're in drive, you can pull the handbrake up and it will turn it on. And then when you start to accelerate away, it will disengage. So if we're to talk about electronic parking brake in a manual, so here I'm in a Renault Kadjar. Same will work for electronic parking brakes across the Renault and Dacia range. But as you can see, the red light is on, indicating the handbrake is on. So if I put it into gear and then start to accelerate, the handbrake disengages and you can drive on. If I stop, out of gear, turn the power off, the red light comes on, handbrake is on, and you're able to get out of the vehicle and go about your day. However, you are able to use it as a manual handbrake as well if you wish to. So I can push down the button to disengage the handbrake and drive on. In gear, of course. But then you can also pull it up and the handbrake comes on. Question is raised reference a hill, for example, where you would traditionally do a hill start assist. A hill start using your handbrake. So all Renault and Dacias do come with hill start assist, which means if you apply the foot brake, it will hold you there for 3 seconds to be able to pull away. So you're not needing to use the handbrake. Obviously, if you're going to be there on a hill for an extended period, you would just pull it up, which would engage the handbrake, and then you put it in gear and accelerate away without touching it once the traffic starts to move. So you really don't need to use the handbrake very often. Right, so to pair the wireless smartphone integration for Apple and Android CarPlay, we start by pressing smartphone on here, device, and then plus device up in the top corner here. It will come up asking to add device. You click OK, and you'll see it's searching. So on my phone, I've got the Bluetooth settings actually open here. And then here we go, it's popped up. So we tap on there and it will ask you to enter a code, which basically is just saying 710364, which matches up with the phone. You click pair. It will ask if you want your contacts to sync, which I do. And there we are, it says connected. And then asks if you want to launch Apple and Android CarPlay. I want to launch that, and you'll see it brings it up here. So I've got my maps, etc. And then these are the apps that you can have. For example, Amazon Music, BBC Sounds, Spotify, and you can just play it all through here. And as you'll see, no wires connected to the phone at all. So it is wireless Apple and Android CarPlay there. Yeah. And then below the phone here behind, there is a USB port as well. So if you did want to wire in, you can use that to charge the phone in situ there. So here we have a Dacia Sandero key. With the Prestige model, you've got keyless entry. So this is what the key looks like. We have got buttons where you can unlock, lock, flash the interior lights, so if you're in a car park you're able to see where the vehicle is, and just unlock the rear boot. The card has a battery inside. The car will tell you if the key card is getting low, but should you run out of battery completely on it, you do have a key hidden in the back. So by pushing this aside and lifting open, you'll see the interior of the key. So inside this is a little watch battery, and then we've got the key blade here. So using this key blade, you're able to open the car from the outside should the battery fail on the key card, to which I will show you now. So as you can see, there is no key slot on the outside, but if we look under, you'll see there's a little hole in here, and using the key you can pop this off and use the key to enter the vehicle. So by putting the key in the slot and popping off, you'll see a little key holder underneath, and you can use the blade to open from there. So we're now going to demonstrate the keyless entry on the vehicle. So as you can see, we've got the Sandero Stepway. As you approach the vehicle, I've got the keys in my hand. The vehicle will unlock as you heard the click. And there you are, it's open. As we walk away, you'll hear it beep and lock, and you know it's locked then. So as you can see, you have to be pretty close to the vehicle. So we are, as you can see, that close to the vehicle before you hear the click. And then it locks as you walk away. So it's a really safe system. It's been used across the Renault and Dacia range for a long time now. And as you have to be so close, there is very little risk of boosters, etc., working to steal the vehicles.